It's KK production, baby. It's KK production, baby. It's KK production, baby.
All right, and we're back with another episode. Back with another episode here of TD Talk. We got a wild card weekend ahead of us. Already kind of in progress. We saw some games yesterday. Dave, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, the Ravens took care of business last night, like I thought they would. Um, Chargers did not.
No.
Didn't see that coming. Chargers are ass.
Yeah.
Herbert looked like shit.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy, because he threw three picks all season. So, at all the things you would have guessed he would have done, let's say fumble the ball, maybe throw him for 300 yards and three touchdowns. He threw four picks. I mean, that
Yeah,
was like nobody could have called that. Like you couldn't even get the odds for more than two picks on the books.
I mean they got beat by 20 points. They scored,
Outrageous.
they scored 6 in the first quarter and 6 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you know
It's
what?
terrible.
I kind of took something away from that game though. The stars they rise. You know what I mean? In these type of games, Nico Collins had a great day. I think he had over 100 yards. And the same thing with uh, Lad McConkey. I think he had
Yeah,
over 100 yards as well, both of them. So the thing here is, I'm going to take some away. I'm going to see if I can cash on a trend on this later on when we talk about props. But yeah, that was a shocking game to me.
yeah. McConkey had almost had 200 yards
Yeah, cooked.
with a 86-yard long. So yeah, he was rolling 9 catches.
He was the truth. He's the truth, man. That Georgia
Yeah.
kid, he ain't. That's the thing about these Georgia kids. Nico Collins played coming out of Michigan. Harbaugh knew what type of time he was on. He coached that man up when he was in college. But I'll tell you what, these big time school, these big school kind of receivers, they not scared of this moment.
Yeah, I guess what really beat him was the running game because Chargers only had like 50 yards rushing. So, which is weird because that's kind of Harbaugh Chargers football is running the ball. So I think they couldn't run the ball and they just started letting fucking Herbert slinging around the yard, tossing picks like JMO.
Well, tough thing about it was for all the way through the first half, it was really Chargers, all Chargers, and I mean, when I say that is that CJ Stroud, he actually had a tough first half. He threw some picks out there. He left some balls out there that Chargers picked up, and they just could not cash in. They threw a pick. CJ would throw a pick, and then Justin and Herbert would get the ball back and throw a pick right back. It's like
Yeah,
you supposed to cash, and like it wouldn't even have been this bad of a game if when they were struggling in the first quarter. I mean, the first half, Chargers capitalized. It would have been 20 something going into half. Then when the Texans got going, the Chargers would have had enough points in the bank to kind of muster out another drive or two and probably could have pulled that game off. But
right.
they left the first half with like 6 points or like 10 points, I think it was. They didn't cash in on anything.
All right, we'll see what we got today. Three
Well,
games, 3 games today.
three games. They all going to be standalone. So three exciting matchups too. And I mean, these this the wild card. Wild card can get a little funny on you, but let's jump on into it. Let's see. First things first is we have a 1 o'clock game. You get the +8. I've seen this spread up 8.5, 9 some places, but +8, -110 either way. If you go -8 for Buffalo, they're going to be a home favorite here. Under over 48.5, -110 either way there. And then you got +350 if you want to take the underdog in Denver, and then -450 for your home favorite in Buffalo. Now, Dave, are you giving Denver any shot in this game?
I am, and apparently a lot of other people are too, because that, like you said, the spread opened up pretty high, and
Yeah,
now it's down to around 7, which means everybody's hammering the spread, and it's worked it down 2 points already.
that's right. That's right.
The Broncos have covered their spread in 15 of the last 20. And that's a 43% return on investment. Um, it's down to a touchdown right now. Uh,
Okay.
this could get interesting. It could get away from Buffalo a little bit if Denver comes out hot because they're riding a high scoring win against the Chiefs last week, which we didn't see that. We saw them maybe winning, but we kind of thought the Chiefs would at least make it close. But it looked like the Chiefs did not want to win that game. They ran basic like cover two, cover three, no blitzes.
Yeah,
They
and they
didn't
had
show
some.
they didn't show anything.
No, and they had some of their practice squad kind of get called up. So
Yeah, they didn't try to win that game at all. Whereas that's cool, but Denver's coming off a hot like I mean they got some rhythm going in that like yeah they know they didn't beat the real Chiefs, but they still had a full game of like seeing positive plays and like rhythm and timing and like could be good for them. They're coming off some momentum, and then Buffalo lost. I mean they didn't play their guys either, but like
that's right. I
you
think they
could see
seen
this
that.
rust. Like sometimes in the NFL, you don't really see it a lot. Like I think you'd see it more in college, a little rust, like momentum swings. But it could happen where Buffalo it takes them a minute to get going. Denver jumps out to a lead. What I do like in this is Buffalo maybe like the second half money line
Okay, okay. Josh
because you
Allen
get
and
you get a
them
little
finish
better.
strong.
Yeah, like he's gonna get going, finish strong, and then they could pull away. So like a second half money line is probably like let's see, it might be like a minus 200 versus minus 440.
Okay, I can see that
Let me try to find these real quick. Halves.
because
Yeah, you could get Broncos second half, or not Broncos, Buffalo Bills minus 225 second half, and then the spread be minus 3.5. So I'd look at the
okay.
second half versus the total, because the total, the full game is not worth the money right now, I don't think.
Yeah, spread money line. Unless you're gonna take that points, and like you said, it could get weird. Even though I kind of saw the Steelers game getting weird, it didn't at all. Um, and and that's the tough part because we seen Broncos get on a roll, and I mean a roll, and it just depends on what type of Buffalo defense comes out because they do still have Von Miller on that line. They still have heavy defensive weapons on that line. So, and the way that they play defense, it kind of plays to Denver's advantage somewhat. Um, and then also the way that Denver plays defense, it kind of neutralizes some of the tactics that the Bills like to use. The Bills kind of like to spread it out a little bit and then kind of get the numbers on one side rolling to the run, or they like to run backside on a single receiver where it's like two corner and a safety on that side versus a lead blocker, tight end type deal and a wide receiver and a running back running up the back of it. So now it's, you know what I mean? It's two versus three. They try to play that type of style. But see, what Denver does is leaves the top corner, what's his name? Patrick Surtain. They'll leave him manned up. Not on a zone look, they'll leave him manned up on that single receiver and trail him everywhere. So now you have kind of like a zone look on that backside to where they can kind of get the numbers on Buffalo. So it's going to be weird. Like you say, the strengths, the Buffalo Bills, they'll have a little bit more of a tougher time with the defense of Broncos versus with the Broncos will, I think, with the Buffalo Bills. But it just depends on who comes out. I mean, does Bo Nix fold like Justin Herbert in this big spot on the road? Heavy crowd. It's cold out there. First playoff game. Is he going to fold out there, or is Josh Allen not going to look as MVP ish when he gets to the playoff? I mean, we see that he owns the wild card weekend, but we don't know. We don't know in this one if he's going to actually come out and put up damn 40 on them.
Yeah, like you said about the sacks, which I didn't know this until I'm reading it right now. The Bills don't give up a lot of sacks. They give up the fewest sacks and fewest turnovers in the league. But on the flip side, the Broncos had the most sacks out of any team in the league. They racked up 63 sacks, 9 more than any other team, and generated 25 takeaways.
But you know what? Here's the thing, and I don't think that it's a lot of just the 4-man blitz. I think that the 4-man like kind of rush. I feel like what Sean Payton is doing is he's getting these coverage sacks because Surtan's so good in the back. You put him on man up on your best receiver. Now you got to go to your second option. By the time you do
Mhm.
that, and they send a backside blitz, shoot one up the gap with the middle linebacker. By the time you do that and you're off, you patting the ball for a second, they got you.
Yep.
So I like I say, I feel like it'll be a little bit tougher for Buffalo to score what they want versus what it will be for the Broncos. But Bo Nix has to show up in this game. He can't be scared to throw the ball downfield. He can't be holding the ball. He's got to make the right decision. He's got to be quick, and he's got to take off. He's got to run.
Yeah.
He's got to, so and I feel like that's what they're going to do well too. They're going to do that bracket look where they do that. How they with the running quarterbacks try to make them go backwards before they get out the pocket.
Yeah, they
You
got Bo
know,
Nix, 25 rushing yards minus 145 is not a bad look either. He might break a couple scampers.
yeah, he's going to have to. And I like Bills in this game. I'm struggling to take the 8 points, even though anything over 6.5. I do see a touchdown win here, but when you talk about 8, 9. I just think the Bills are going to tear them up. It's a tough spot for a rookie to come in this place and actually tear them up. So I like anything 6.5 or less. But you talk about 8.5, 9. I can see a backdoor. Denver making them out, finally getting something going late in the game, and then trying to come back, and then all of a sudden they win by 8 points, and they don't cover that 8.5 or whatever it may be. Because I
Yeah,
think it's
I'm gonna go second half Bills.
all right. I like that second half.
I'm gonna throw that in there.
All right. All right. So let's go on to the next game here. Let's jump on into the next game. Next game is really interesting. I think this one's going to be a little bit more of a ball game to me than I think there's going to be a tighter game than what Buffalo and then will. Really, Buffalo should blow them out by 14, but I think this game there's no chance that it gets to that 14 mark. Um, I think this is a nail biter. A lot of people are writing Green Bay off, just like they wrote the Texans off yesterday. But we seen Jordan Love come into places and tear it up. Plus 5.5 here, minus 110, minus 5.5 here for the Eagles, a home favorite. Green Bay's got to go into Philly today at minus 5.5. Over under 46, minus 110 either way there, and then plus 220, minus 270 if you're taking the favorites in Pittsburgh. Dave, what you see?
Yeah, it looks like Hurts is back. He hasn't played in a while. He had that concussion, and then Love hurt his elbow last week too.
Mm,
But neither one of them have an injury designation, so they should be good to go. Um, yeah, this could be tight. Philly's passing game is terrible in my opinion. Um, they had some drama like mid-season, and then came out, and AJ Brown was getting all the looks, Devontae Smith, but it's still obvious that they can't throw the ball that good.
right.
Green Bay, still a little scary team. They lost to Chicago last week. Minnesota, tough one. So they've had two tight games, two 2-point games since they blew the Saints out on that Monday night before Christmas. Um,
Yeah.
Saquon's well rested. He's ready to roll. He hasn't been to the playoffs,
Well,
so he's
tell me
ready to
this,
fucking
right?
go.
Tell me this. If the game ends up being Saquon has 55 yards, do you think Eagles can still win that game?
No, I don't think so.
No, right? Okay, that's where I'm at because if Josh Jacobs has 55 yards, I feel like Green Bay could still win that game.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I think that the advantage Green Bay here, but what Jordan Love do we see show up? What Saquon do we see show up? You know, so because if they get the running game, if Eagles get the running game going, it's over with. It's over with. There's
Yep.
no way you're gonna stop Saquon, and then he's gashing you, and then they're throwing to Smitty, they're throwing to AJ, the offense is rolling, Jalen Hurts is scrambling. There's no way you're gonna stop that. But if they do stop Saquon Barkley, make Jalen Hurts throw that ball, they got a really good shot, and I think they know that.
Yeah, these teams haven't played in the playoffs since 2010, and that's when Green Bay won, and then fucking won the Super Bowl after that. So they don't play that often in the postseason. Um,
Hmm.
This is a rematch of the season opener
Okay.
when they played in Brazil and everybody was bitching about the field. Saquon had 3 TDs that game, and yeah, I don't know, it could
Love
be
got
tight.
hurt.
It's a good matchup.
Love got hurt in that game.
Love got hurt. Uh,
Tore up his ankle.
they're both, like I said, they're both kind of banged up. I mean, Hurts should be pretty healthy. He just had a concussion, so it's not like that's not an injury that lingers like an elbow. Love's got that elbow injury that's kind of scary, and he's been out a couple times this year with like an ankle or something. He gets tripped up in the backfield, goes out with an ankle or something. So
Yeah.
if they both play the whole game, it should be pretty good.
So what do you see here? Because it's tough for me because I couldn't pick the Green Bay Packers outright. I think I'd be leaning more towards the Philly outright. Um, and just because if Saquon gets going, it's just domination. But um, I don't think that Love being banged up coming in this game. He wasn't banged up last year when he did that to the Cowboys. So I think that you need a healthy Jordan Love. You need, the best version of Jordan Love to beat this team, and I don't think they have it right now.
Yeah, I I'd have to bet on Saquon for sure.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
right
it's
there
like
with
Saquon in the playoffs rested. He wasn't worried about the record, but if he wasn't worried about his single season, breaking that record, then he's about to come firing off and set some records in the playoffs.
I think we go money line here with the Eagles. I would be tempted to do a -2.5, maybe alternate there to get better odds because I can see a touchdown, and I can even see a field goal. But um, I'm leaning more towards the Eagles in this matchup here.
I'm gonna go -2.5 Eagles.
All right, that we'll take that. We'll take that. All right, last matchup on the slate. Dave, I'll let you call this one because these are my guys. You already know
Yeah,
what
we got the
type.
Commandos and
Yeah,
Bucks.
yeah, and you know what? We were in the playoffs in like oh man, I want to say 2021, maybe 20, maybe 2021. I want to say, but I think Tom Brady beat us in this slot, and I think they went on. Yeah, I think they went on to win the Super Bowl that year. But it was really close, even that fight. And I think that was Taylor Heineke was our quarterback at the time. Maybe Sam Howell. Nah, maybe Taylor Heineke.
Might have been Heineke, I think.
Yeah, Heineke. I think it was Heineke. But I tell you what, this time is a little different because we actually have a chance. Um, minus 3. We got to go into Tampa. You got to go down to Florida. -3, -110 here, +3 for road underdogs in Washington. Over under 50.5, -110. This is the highest spread I think of the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. +140, -165 for the home favorites in Tampa. Now, Dave, how you see this one? I love our guys in this matchup. Jaden Daniels, man, he's got ice in his veins when it comes to moments like this.
Yeah, Tampa's a scary team. They didn't look great against the Saints last week, and that was win and get in. They came out flat. They were they just looked like they didn't want to be there. Maybe they expected to get in. They expected it to be a rollover. I could
Yeah,
see them doing that again today. Like they ended up winning there at the end, but like they didn't look good all day.
no,
The Commanders squeaked one out against Dallas, but they were resting guys too. Like they were already keyed in. Uh,
Yeah.
Mariota played
Yep.
and actually did pretty well.
Yeah, he did. He did.
15 for
Shout out to him.
18. Yeah. So they got a good backup in there. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is nasty. He's my guy too. I like Washington, and then Marshawn Lattimore is supposed to be playing too. So that's going to be the classic Lattimore Evans lockup
Uh-oh.
that's been, I mean, the last fucking 10 years really against the Saints. He's been putting the clamps on Mike Evans. So if he's
Yeah.
healthy, that could make a big difference tonight.
Yeah. But I tell you what, this one, I see a shootout. Our defense is garbage. I just be honest. Our team, I know our team. Everybody puts up 30 on us. I mean, the Falcons even came in there and put up 24 on us just to force it to overtime. I mean, that's a rookie quarterback in Michael Penix. So I mean, he was making his second start ever in the National Football League and put up 24 on us. So if I see Baker, he could probably put up 30 on us, and we're going to have to score 34, 30, 36 to win this game. And I think Jaden Daniels going to come out ready to sling that ready to sling that pill. As high as the under over is, a lot of people leaning towards that over. I think it will be over, but these wild card games they get tricky. So they get tricky. As soon as people think, oh, yeah, this going to be over, it's going to be a shootout, they come out. All of a sudden, we playing defense. All of a sudden, they playing defense. And, we go into halftime 3-10. It's
Yep.
like, so this one, like I say, I'll let you pick this one. But
I'm gonna pick. Um, I like the Commanders outright, but you never know what Baker you're gonna get if they're gonna come out hot, firing, or they're gonna come out dead like they did last week. Commanders plus 7.5 is minus 276 here on my ticker here. So
that's what I was thinking. Exactly
I'm
what
just
I was
gonna throw.
thinking.
I'm gonna throw that in there.
I was right there with you. I was just about to say plus seven. You already give me three. Give me a little bit more. Touchdown. I think it's gonna be blow for blow. Especially prime time, 8 o'clock. Man, this one gonna be a show.
Yeah.
But we got a chance this time. I'm gonna tell you what, we got a chance. I wouldn't be surprised if we win this game.
Yeah, I like Washington here.
Boy, oh boy. All right, so that's our matchups for the wild card, and what we'll show here is that this is what the um, matchups look like right now, or actually the playoff bracket, the playoff picture. So we already have seen that Baltimore took care of the Steelers. The Steelers are just terrible, absolutely terrible. But what happens here that you don't see is with like the college football playoffs is in the NFL they do a reseed. So reseed is the lowest seed that's still left after these three games are getting played on either side goes to play the highest seed. The highest seed always is going to have the easiest route to the championship. Okay, so when you say that, for instance, the Texans they beat the Chargers. They seed number 4. Now the Baltimore Ravens they beat the Steelers. Seed number 3. So if the Bills take care of the Broncos today, like we're all thinking, I mean, the favorite is the Bills today. So if the Bills take care of the Broncos, then Texans will go into Kansas City and play Kansas City. And then we'll have a rematch, which is the Bills versus the Ravens in the AFC. And then winner of those two, of course, play the AFC Championship. Now, on the flip side, we'll have we'll have the Eagles versus the Packers, the Bucks versus the Washington, and then tomorrow night, Monday night, we'll have LA Rams versus the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing out in Arizona. Should have been a home game for the Rams, but of course with the fires and things like that, they're going to move the venue out to Arizona. So same thing there. Let's just say we get out of the wild card round against Tampa. Eagles take care of Green Bay, and then let's just say the LA Rams upset the Vikings and get into the next round. We would go to the Lions. We would have to take care of the Lions. We go into Detroit. So that's what that looks like right now. So that's kind of what we're looking like. going into next week. And I'll tell you what, if Baltimore pulls that draw with the Buffalo Bills, which I think they will, that's gonna be a game, bro. That's gonna be a game. That's a pick 'em
Yeah, that'd
game.
be a good one.
Boy, that's a pick 'em. That's a 50-50 game. And that's why that's why I want to see what Josh Allen looks like today. If he barely gets out of here with a 3-point win, he gonna be in trouble against Lamar and them.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the
Seriously.
Ravens. I like the Ravens throughout the playoffs, really.
And I don't see anybody upsetting the Lions. I think maybe in the NFC Championship, the Eagles, if they put it all together against the Packers today and they look really explosive, they get out of there with a 14-point win, cover that spread. Okay, I can see it happening. But
Yeah, the thing with the Lions is, and I think it comes down to the running backs, like who's the best running backs on these teams. And the Lions got, well, I don't know if Montgomery's still hurt, but when they have Montgomery and Gibbs going, like you can't stop them.
yeah,
You've got two premier backs that are going to make you look silly. And then you got the Ravens with Henry, and then you got Saquon on the Eagles.
yeah. I mean, even still with the Buffalo Bills, you got the James Cook and the Josh Allen tandem
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out the
You could
back.
count Allen as a running, like a big ass running back
You
sometimes
might as
when you're
well.
going, especially if they have some weather.
Oh yeah, and then he's an after contact too. I mean, not like a Derrick Henry type, but he after he gets hit, he's gonna lean forward for another 5 yards or tumble forward for another 5. So that's just the way he runs, but he's gonna get 8-9 yards a clip.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting though. Can one of these little high fly teams get out of the wild card and jump into this conference championship? We'll see. I mean, Green Bay, they're gonna have to throw the ball all over the park. If they try to come out and play the Eagles brand of football where they try to run just Josh Jacobs and just do that and play that possession type, run the clock down type football, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Mhm.
Josh Jacobs is not gonna be able to carry y'all to a win like Saquon can. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
But that's it for the NFL playoff picture. We jump on into the wild card prop shop. Shout out to McMillan, even though we're gonna smack them tonight, hoping, fingers crossed here for Washington. But McMillan, shout out to McMillan, Washington receiver, old Washington Huskies college receiver, did a great job with Michael Penix and company. They lost in the national championship, but he is balling. Him and Roman Duze did pretty good as rookies this season. Everybody forgets about Jalen Polk, which was their third option. He's down there in New England, which I think that's why uh, Gerard Mayo got fired, because he had the chance to pick up Lad McConkey and went with Jalen Polk, and we see that he missed on that one. So
Hmm.
I think that's why he kind of got fired. But well, one of the reasons he probably got fired, and plus calling his team soft and all that crazy shit. So, anyways, prop shop. We into the props. Dave, tell me what kind of props you like today.
Some of these, the props, just like the bets, like any sports betting gets tougher as you get closer into the playoffs. It's a lot easier to pick them and win some money early in the season. They make the lines kind of outrageous uh, down here in the playoffs. I do got a couple touchdown looks here. I got a 4-pick touchdown, so I picked one guy from each game to score a touchdown.
Okay.
25 to win 596.
Okay.
I got Cortland Sutton,
Me too. Go ahead.
Jalen Hurts,
Okay. I didn't get that one.
Aaron Jones,
Okay.
and Scary Terry McLaurin.
Okay. I got that one.
So I need
All right.
four. I got four guys, one guy from each game, and I really like Jalen Hurts. I mean, they still got him at plus 100. Um, he's back in the lineup, and you see it. Like if they get down to the 2 yard line, they get within the 5.
That's right.
They're gonna rush it. Like why would they? They're not gonna run Saquon. They haven't really rushed Saquon at the goal line. Like they're gonna use Jalen Hurts. They're gonna go with what they know.
That's right. And I,
Um,
and I thought that the other week, uh, literally every time you called that pick, it's hit. So I tailed it this week. I already thought you was gonna be on it, but I took it this week. So I'll tell you what, I did a same idea. I did two different ones, but I only did $4 to win 78, and then the other one I did was a five pick, $5 to win 101. But I got Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, like you got Cortland Sutton, and then Josh Jacobs for that four pick. And then I did Jalen Hurts and Josh Jacobs in that game. Then I did Josh Allen, Mike Evans, and then Kyron Williams. So
Yep.
Mike Evans consistent on both, but I kind of like some of the backs, and then I kind of threw some wide receivers in there too. I think this is going to be a high flyer game too, and multiple people in some of these games are going to score. So
Yeah. And I have one open right now. I think I just copied on DraftKings. It'll be like so and so's picking, you know, these touchdown scores. So I threw $3 on one, and it's still alive because Derrick Henry scored and Joe Mixon scored. And this is an all
okay,
running back. This is an all running back pick. James Cook, Saquon, Kyron, and Bucky Irving need to score, and that'll hit three for 70. So
all right. So now, for a little bit of a so Baker, so I'm taking Baker's over today. I kind of like Baker's over. Baker usually covers his overs, even like wild overs, like 225, 245. Like he'll cover that, like 310,
yeah, we talked
330.
about that either last week or the week before. Um, I had Baker's over, and it was like 300 yards, and he hit it in the first half or something. So like, yeah, he's
Ridiculous,
gonna sling it around.
ridiculous. And I have been I got Baker for I like I say I like his over, and then I also did a interesting little two pick here. I saw it on an app. But I kind of agree with this one, but like now you kind of scare me with Lattimore kind of coming out. I know they kind of battle, but I think they need Mike Evans in this game. I took the alternate up on Puka Nakua and Mike Evans. $20 gets you 132. Mike Evans for over 100 and Puka Nakua for over 100. I think they're both the keys to their team winning. I think if they're going to win these ball games, both of them have to have big days. So $20 over 100 yards for Puka and Mike Evans get you 135 back or 132 back, really 111, 112, but you get your 20 back, of course. So,
Yep.
what else you like?
I didn't really dive into many of the stats. I do like your Baker pick. Um, let's see.
For some reason, they have Austin Eckler for over his rushing yard is 20 and a half. So I feel like that's low. To me, I don't know why it's that low, but I mean, of course, he's coming off a concussion, but I mean, this is a playoff game. You either win or you go home. And they got this guy, Austin Eckler. I mean,
Yeah,
he ain't gonna ride.
If Eckler's healthy, they're gonna run him. Like I had him early in the season too. I was betting on him because he gets receiving too. Like he gets those dink and dunk receiving yards. I guess they're looking at him more to do that because they got minus 750 on 25 plus receiving yards. Um, his over under for rushing, yes, 21 and a half here.
I'm taking it. I mean,
Yeah, that's not a bad look.
I saw that, it kind of jumped out at me. I'm like, okay, I can kind of see maybe he's coming back off concussion. Maybe, yeah, he's a little bit more involved in the receiving game, but still, if we need a play, we handing that thing off to Eckler. We give him a sweep, toss sweep to the left or whatever it may be, and that's still considered a run. I can see him getting out on the edge, busting a little 15-yard run two times. I mean, that's an easy cover for me. I took it.
Yeah, I like that too.
Another one that I like, I kind of saw, kind of been diving into some of these. I kind of watched a couple of these Broncos games lately, and Marvin Mims Jr. has been kind of getting involved a little bit more.
Yeah,
Now,
he's speedy.
very speedy, very speedy. And the thing about him is that I really don't like his baseline that they're giving his under over line. I took the alternate over 25 yards, but they got him at I think 40. I think that's a little too high. I think they only go to him once or twice a game, like deep balls. But I mean, I could see him catching a little 30, 40 yard pass, bomb over the top, touchdown type deal.
Yeah.
Um, So I could see him in one pass getting 25 yards because they chunk it to him deep.
Yeah, I had him on a touchdown parlay too that got ruined by it was like a combo parlay I had going, but I did like Marvin Mims.
Yeah, I kind of like that one as well. The last couple I kind of saw, um, because of the style of game, I think it will be. I'm kind of betting on first half over 1.5 touchdowns for Washington. I think we're going to have to score that to keep up. So I took that in a little parlay. I threw that in one of my little parlays. And then on FanDuel, they have this crazy one. So I only put $2.50 to win it, but each team to score one rushing touchdown and one passing touchdown each half. So I can see Bucky Irvin getting a little loose for a tutty, or Baker Mayfield getting loose for a running touchdown. I can see Mike Evans catching one, and then I also can see him dropping one off to McMillan because he scored a touchdown the last couple games. So I can see Baker maybe scrambling for one, Bucky getting one, maybe Bucky getting two. But if it times up right, I can see Austin Eckler getting one goal line. I could see Jaden Daniels getting one on the goal line, scrambling for one. So those are two rushing options, and then Zach Ertz, Terry McLaurin over top. I can just see that there's a path to where this could happen. But
Yeah.
$2.50, $2.50, excuse me, wins you $452 if it hits. So I had to take that.
I like it. I like it.
So like I said, just saying, just the way that I think the game will play out, I can see a path to where they get a rushing and a passing in both quarters, both teams. Um, I think, like I said, I just feel like it's going to be a shootout. I mean, even the odds makers, they got it at 50.5.
Yeah, it could be a
Any
shootout. I'd like to see that.
any other looks? I got another crazy one. That just crazy. Like I say, a little $3 pick. Josh Allen first touchdown score, Jalen Hurts first touchdown score, and then that's the one I threw a touchdown and a half, over a touchdown and a half, first half for Washington. $3.50 wins you $374. But I haven't had any luck at all with any first touchdown scores. No, I take that back. Kareem Hunt. It was probably like week 6. It was like my uh, first touchdown, and I actually hit it on accident. I meant to do him anytime touchdown, and I wound up clicking the first touchdown, and I put it in because DraftKings gave you like $200 in bonus bets or whatever, and I put like $50 on it, and I was like, oh shit, that's the first touchdown. I was like, oh well, it's bonus bet, and it hit. So that was the only
You never
time I
know.
hit a that was the only time I've ever hit a first touchdown score. So we'll see. I doubt that one to hit, but take a chance.
It could happen.
Well, any shot at any things to look for on this wild card weekend? It has already been wild, especially with the Texans. The way they came out is crazy.
I think we covered pretty much everything I got, bro.
Well, let's see how this wild card weekend shakes out. I do want to touch on some college. You think that Ohio State is going to close the door on this championship this weekend?
Yeah, I like Ohio State big time.
Big time, huh? I think it'll be a tough, tight game. I think this one's going to be one of those games because Notre Dame is willing to take it there. They will put their face mask in your face mask, and they are not going to give up. So we're going to see how tough Ohio State is. We're going to see how tough they are.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. I didn't see these two teams being the teams that'll be there in the end, but it should be a good
That's right.
game. Shouldn't be like a TCU Georgia matchup, Like this actually should be a pretty good championship matchup.
That's right. And then that's the only thing that I could see is that if it's close coming out of that third quarter, and Notre Dame's been beating on them all game, just taking it to them, just heavy hits, hard hits, clashing of the helmets. Is Ohio State going to wilt in the end, and Notre Dame just make that play? If it's close at the end of the third, I'm telling you that game could get exciting.
Yep, for sure.
All right, well, this has been the Wild Card Weekend Show. TD Talk. We appreciate y'all. We will be back next week for our playoff coverage. Let's see who gets out of this Wild Card Weekend, Dave.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get hot rolling into next weekend.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right.